Hey, what's up, guys? If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm a huge fan and supporter of Firecracker Farm. Alex, the owner, is not only an incredible human being, but he makes an incredible product. And that is why we could not be happier that they are sponsoring the Shoot Me Straight podcast. Each guest, when they come in, will get a sample of Firecracker Farm so they can take it back and enjoy. And I can tell you, to each person that we've given it to, they have not been disappointed. You can put these, put this salt on your favorite food, favorite beverage. I've even seen people put it in their coffee. They love it. There's an assortment of heat, so if you don't like it too hot, they definitely have that taken care of with some mild flavors. And then it goes all the way to extreme heat if you like to sweat. So if you guys are interested in purchasing some, go to firecracker.farm. All right, thank you for listening, and God bless. Welcome back to Shoot Me Straight with Eddie and Dave. Today we have Alexander Duncan on the podcast. You are out of Texas.
Yes, sir.
Right? I know you've been like doing the podcast circuit a little bit. You were down there with my buddies, anti-hero guys, not too long ago.
Yeah, they were
which was
great.
Awesome. Yeah, I listened to some of it for sure. It was good. Yeah, that's a fun time. Did you do the live?
No, I didn't do the live, but I heard that
Okay.
one. That one gets a little crazy.
Yeah, that's an experience. It's a cool
You did
thing they
both,
got
right?
going. Yeah, I did their podcast twice. The first time it was more just focused around what happened and my whole thing.
Yeah.
And then second, they just invited me down. I was like, and it was it was funner just because it's like, okay, like we're just gonna mess around. So I did the live, and yeah, it's a different experience. You're sitting there and people are just like shooting questions, and you're sitting around smoking cigars. So it was a good time. Yeah, I really like those. I like them both.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, you obviously you reached out, and then I looked into it, and so you're running for Congress, which was what we were, or not Congress, I'm sorry, Senate,
Yes,
which
sir.
is what we were just talking about. My buddy Jared Hudson, I was saying he's running for it now, Alabama. So before we get into like your reasons why you're running for Senate, let's get a little background of like who you are, where you grew up, and I know you did 13 years.
13.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so born and raised in California my whole life. My dad was a police officer for 34 years, and I was talking about this on Anti-Hero. I wanted nothing to do with law enforcement. I was like, this is not for me. I kind of despise authority. Like, I don't want to go into this, realm.
You said your dad was, right?
Yes.
Is that because probably you're?
I'm sure I had it. Like, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to
I was the same way. My dad was the Army, and I was like, there's no way I'm joining the military.
right.
Yeah.
So then when I turned 18, he's like, hey, you got to get a job. Like, you're not going to be living here and not working, even though you're in school. I'm like, okay, well, I'll go out and look for something. He's like, well, we're hiring cadets, which is like a paid, kind of like an explorer position in the police department. And he's like, they're paying pretty well. It's, way over minimum wage. I'm like, all right, I'll apply for that. So I was doing that when I was in school, and I started going on these ride-alongs. I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. Like, you get to drive around in a car all day, catch bad guys. You're not behind a desk. So my senior year, I was like, I think I'm going to apply to be a cop. So Beverly Hills just started hiring, and I was like, oh, this would be pretty cool to work where my dad's
Cop
working.
in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, so I was like, this would be pretty cool to work with my dad for his last couple of years. So I applied, started the police academy the day after my graduation. And then, yeah, I was there ever since. But I was always very interested in politics growing up, very conservative. But California is it's a lost cause. Like,
You're outnumbered.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
why even run? Because it's not going to go anywhere. So I was always interested. The city I worked for was great because they would provide tuition reimbursement, to keep going on school. So I'm like, I'll go get my master's in international relations just to see where it goes in the future. So I did that. Then I'm working on finishing my doctorate right now in public policy. So I was always interested in politics, but I didn't ever think it would go anywhere. But then making that change, moving to Texas, seeing Cornyn, who's, he's been in office since 2002. And it's like, wait, this guy represents Texas when he's like, his values are completely opposite of what Texans want. I said, this is the perfect opportunity to just throw my name out there and see where it goes. Because I always mention this. Somebody once told me, hey, don't complain about something unless you're willing to make the change yourself.
Yes.
So that always stuck with me. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to just sit here and complain and not do anything about it.
No, that's awesome. So during your time as an LE in Beverly Hills, so you were Beverly Hills the whole time?
Correct. Yeah, 13 years.
Was that Eddie Murphy that played?
Yeah, yeah, Beverly Hills
Yeah,
Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop. That's right. It's a sick soundtrack growing up.
Yeah, it was an interesting city to work for sure.
Yeah, what
Oh,
was
I
that
bet.
like?
So great people, but also just so out of touch with reality because, you know, they live behind these big gates, lots of money, but then that's only a portion of the city. Then the rest of the city is just like LA. You get the same problems. So it's like they think because, you know, they have money, they shouldn't be dealing with the same issues as like the city of LA is dealing with. So that was always an issue because they're like, well, why are we having all these homeless people? Why are we having these robberies, these burglaries? It's like, because ultimately you live in LA County. Like, you're going to have the same issues no matter what.
How big is Beverly Hills?
5.5 square miles. So it's small. It's a small little pocket right between, you know, got West LA, you got Wilshire area of LA, and then West Hollywood. So it's kind of right in that little pocket.
Got ya.
Yeah.
5.5 square miles. That's
That's
not that big.
No,
No.
I've been there once. With this, is it Rodeo Drive?
Yeah.
It's down there. Yeah, dude, Andrew and I, when we lived in San Diego, we were like, oh, let's take a trip up to LA because we'd never been up there, and we're like, you know, go see Beverly Hills and all the stuff you know watch on TV growing up.
Yeah.
It's a dump, dude. It's a straight dump. Like I went there. I mean, Rodeo Drive and all that. It's just nothing but overpriced, fancy shops. But then, like you said, like even in there, I wasn't impressed. But then right outside of it, I'm like, dude, this place is trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing special to it. When these tourists come in and they're like, hey, where do we go? Like, what's there to see? I'm like, you have Rodeo Drive, but
Yeah.
there's
Spend
nothing
2
else
minutes
really to
there.
see. And they talk about, oh, what about like where the celebrities live? I'm like, we could drive by the front of their house and see a big gate.
Do they still
Like,
have like maps of the stars or whatever?
Yeah, and I think they're all fake. Like,
That's what I figured. I'm like, dude, that's got to be such a pain in the ass for the celebrity. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't want my, you know, house on that map.
well, that, and then I always used to laugh. I'm like, these people don't know. You're just driving by a house and see a huge wall and gate. You could just lie and say, hey, this is blah, blah, blah's house.
Yep.
And they'd be like, oh, this is awesome.
That's where Al Pacino gets his coffee.
Exactly. Yeah, so it was a weird city to work for.
What'd you deal with, like pulling someone over and they're like, you dealt with a lot of entitlement? I
A
imagine.
lot of entitlement.
Yeah.
That
Oh, that's got to be great.
Yeah, that was the worst thing because it's like just the out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
It's like you're nobody special. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't make you special. And it's like just get. So I always like used to joke about the difference between when you're in Beverly Hills and then you go out to LA. So I'm driving around, and most people when they see a cop car, they're like, "I gotta get out of the way. I don't want anything to do with the police. If the police car's here, I'm gonna move." Beverly Hills, they'll just drive right in front of you, slow as can be, no urgency to get out of your way. Right when you enter LA, they scatter. They're like, hey, if you're going somewhere, I don't want to be where the police are going.
Yeah.
Like that's a normal reaction. And over here, it's like, no, you're not going to inconvenience me for you doing your job.
How was the department? Like, did
I
you
pay
ever,
your taxes.
Did you
Or
ever pull over like a celebrity and then have the celebrity have the chief of police would be like, hey, you got to let them off? Or like,
No, none of that. So that was good. There was no like, special treatment of any of them.
Yeah.
But there was definitely the entitlement aspect for sure.
yeah.
Is that like the attitude of like my taxpayers pay your salary, so you do what I want you to
work
do.
for me.
You work for me.
Exactly.
Like that type of entitlement.
And it was that type of entitlement where it's like, if I call the police, you better be here within like the next 5 to 15 minutes, or we're going to be calling back.
Well, let me ask this: are the majority of those people are the same ones that are posting BLM and defund the police, and kind of crap, and then also voting for sanctuary cities?
Exactly.
And, yeah, they're morons.
I was telling Brent that. I was like, it's funny because the left, who wants to defund the police, anti-police, but they use the most police services. They're always the ones calling, complaining, wanting something to be done about an issue that they ultimately voted for, like the homeless issue. Hey, we don't care, let him be on the street. Well, then don't call us complaining that he's sitting in front of your house.
Yeah,
You wanted it, this is what you get.
you voted for this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. So that had to be obviously you said 13 years there, and then what caused you to move to Texas?
So, law enforcement culture is very kind of toxic. I think it's with any like military law enforcement, you kind of get that.
Yeah.
And it's because you face so much evil, you see the gray side so much that you kind of start living in it because you're like, I could get away with this. I've seen it done. Nothing happens to you if you do it. So it's kind of that toxic culture, and I think I fell into that, and I was becoming very angry, and I was trying to look for something to fulfill me. And I was looking in all the wrong places. So I was all about, what could I achieve next? Is it going to be the next degree? Is it going to be this award? Is it going to be, making the most arrest? And doing all that, and I always felt empty and never felt fulfilled. And so I was kind of going down a bad path. And then about 2 years ago is when I really found God. I was always a believer, always believed in God, but it was that like cheap version of, I believe in God, I'm saved. I could live my life however I want. And then I kind of hit my rock bottom. I was like, man, like I got to just turn to God. And that's what really changed my life and perspective on everything. I'm like, now I'm feeling this is what I've been missing. I was missing that relationship with Christ for so long. And I was telling my wife, I'm like, I don't think this is the place for us anymore. I think, the culture of law enforcement, the culture of California, it's not good for me. I don't think it's good for the family. Like, let's look for somewhere we could go, has the family values we want, still puts God at like the center of everything. And Texas was like the first state we thought of. Florida was up there too. But we're like, yeah, Texas would be a great place to raise our kids. So we went out one weekend, checked it out. We're like, done. This is it.
Yeah.
And, we moved shortly thereafter, like a few months later. Done.
Let me ask you this. So you said, you were in the law enforcement 13 years and it was toxic or it got toxic, right?
Right.
And I only bring this up because, like you said, it happens in the military as well, in the special operations community. And I think my opinion on it is, I think any job, because I'm sure when you join out law enforcement, it's like, boom, this is what I am, this is my identity, and these are the beliefs that are on paper what this law enforcement unit stands for. It's the same in any other unit. Right. It's like, this is what we believe in. And it's like, on paper, yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I believe in. And when you say, like, usually there's like an oath you got to take, and you say those words out loud when you first get in, right? Like, I, swear to defend the Constitution of the United States, or whatever the oath is that you're taking. And then, of course, each unit has its own oath, but they follow along the same guidelines, like honor, courage, commitment, integrity, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, once you start doing that job, you see real quick, like, not everybody follows that oath or those values or stands by them. And that's when you start seeing like the whole living in the gray thing when it comes to morals and values and ethics. And it's the same, like you see guys get promoted that you're like, dude, that guy is a piece of trash. Yeah. Like, he's one of your peers, and like, oh, this guy, because he's, pulling whatever to get promoted, playing the political game. And I think that's what causes, and it happens in our community too, is this negative kind of outlook you start getting because you're still doing the job. You're still trying to adhere to the values that you swore when you entered it, but then you're also swimming amongst the political game and like the people that aren't following those values, but now they're in charge of you, or you have to work with them, and you can't, and it becomes nasty. I feel, when you were saying that and how it became toxic, I felt that because it's the same thing all around, man. Yeah. And I think that's why when you turn to Jesus and God, it's like, that's the only thing that's not going to let you down. Any institution that you look at and hold it to a pedestal, and like, even if they can, on paper, they have all the right values and all that, it's at the end of the day still run by human beings. Yeah. It's an institution. It's not the thing that you should be holding up on a pedestal to live your life by, because it will let you down.
Exactly. And I heard you kind of talk about it, like, my identity was being a police officer for a long time. Like, everything was, and you see it, like, when you meet other cops, they talk in that cop language, and, that's all they want to talk about is the job. And I found myself in that. I'm like, and when I turned to Christ, I'm like, okay, that can't be my identity. It's a piece of me, but ultimately my identity is in Christ. And that's what was a big game changer.
What brought about that change?
I think it was just a culmination of everything. It was anger. It was, hurting my family or my wife. And I was like, I can't, man, what kind of life am I living? Like, I'm going down a path that just ultimately leads to destruction. I mean, sin leads to death. There could be a time and season for that sin that you don't think anything's going to happen, but it's going to catch up to you eventually. Yeah. And I found myself in that. I'm like, I need to make a change. And I think I started watching videos of different preachers and hearing testimonies. I'm like, okay, there's something there, because these guys have gone from terrible circumstances, and now they're just filled with, they're filled with that fruits of the spirit, like they say. And it's like, okay, there's something to this thing.
Yeah.
You feel like you knew to go back to your faith from when you were younger?
I don't know if it was necessarily my faith from when I was younger or seeing my wife's faith, because my wife was always a strong believer.
Yeah.
And I think when I realized that, I'm like, okay, she has this. Why did I kind of push it aside for so long?
Yeah.
And I think she's ultimately what drove me back, was seeing her faith.
Our wives keep us alive.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah.
Like I'd probably be down a way worse path.
So when you moved to Texas, did you start doing the LE role there?
No, so I was going back and forth. I was flying back and forth every 2 weeks. So I'd do 2 weeks, straight work for, 14 days, fly home, be at home for 2 weeks. So I did that for about a year.
That's got to get old after a while.
It was getting old, but California law enforcement, just the pay,
Yeah.
you can't compare to, can't beat it. So that's why I was doing it for a while. And then it just got to the point where it's like, because I worked patrol for all 13 years, and it takes a toll on your body like anything. Like I got back, neck issues, and I was like, it's just time for a change. I don't want this to be my identity anymore. I had fun doing it. And that's the thing. I loved the job. It was great. But the way it's gone, ever since the George Floyd, law enforcement's just, the culture is like done. The family aspect of it isn't there anymore. So it's everything kind of draws you to it. Like you feel like you're part of something bigger.
Yeah.
But then you realize well, these people turn on me like that.
Yep.
And it's like, you dealt with it.
Oh yeah, that's the culture all around.
You're like, this guy was a good buddy of mine, and now he's selling me out so he could get promoted or get whatever position he wants. I'm like, this is terrible.
they have, I'm sure, the brotherhood and or long live the brotherhood is what is said in our community. But what you realize when it comes down to it, it's long live the brotherhood when it's convenient.
Right.
And that's really the truth. It's like people will say they'll stand by you no matter what, and it's easy for me to be like, oh yeah, dude, I'll take a bullet for you when it comes down to it, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But then when you're faced with any other adversity, like standing up for what you believe in, and then they're like, whoa, dude, I agree with you, but I'm not going to voice it because then they're going to come after me.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, well, where does a brotherhood end? You know what I mean?
And the other problem is the leadership within these departments. See, a lot of these people that rise up to the ranks of lieutenant captain, assistant chief, all those kind of positions, it's sad because most of them didn't do the job long enough. So they didn't work patrol long enough to know these policies they're putting in effect, how they're going to actually affect their people. And you go to them and be like, this clearly is not going to work. You're putting a bunch of, work on us that we don't need to be doing. Nope, we need to do it this way. And they don't have an answer for it other than, they went to some training class and this is a new, thing some lawyer told them to do. And it's like, man, if you don't have that real worked experience, it makes for a terrible leader in the end. The best people I've worked for are people that they did the job long enough that they get it. But when these people just rise up, because that's their sole aspiration is, I want to be a chief of police.
The careerists.
Yeah, so it's just a ladder for them. They don't care. They'll do their 1 year in patrol and then bounce around to everything they need to get promoted.
Do you think that's some of what's missing in Washington as far as you running for Senate is they don't have that?
I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Washington is just full of attorneys. And most of them, it's their whole aspiration is to be a politician. Yeah, I went to law school, I worked for a firm, now I'm going to go into politics. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, do you know how these bills that you're proposing, how they're actually going to affect the average, everyday working American? And most of them don't. And we see it. A lot of these bills are just trash, and they don't do anything they're intended to do.
Yeah, I mean, Washington's a whole that problem. I don't even know if it's solvable.
Almost need to start over.
The whole drain the swamp initiative. I'm like, dude, how can you're not able to drain the swamp? There's too many.
It's so
too much.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You think you can make it better or improve it, the little parts of it?
I mean, I guess the way to make it better is to do what Alex is doing. It's like, dude, I'm just gonna get up there and try and actually do the right thing. And if you have enough people that are doing that, I would like to say that would make it better, but I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, it's going into just a den of vipers, man. And it's like you're a rabbit being thrown into a den of vipers, and you're just like, well, I hope I don't get bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Talk about selling people out. That
Yeah.
world just sells you out in a heartbeat if you don't align with whatever they're trying to get past at the time. I mean, we've even seen it even with Trump in office, the people that come out against him, it's like, well, we voted for what he wants to put in effect, so why are you opposing it?
Yeah.
And it's a mess. But I think it's going to take a long time to, because it's one seat at a time. You could slowly replace these people. But that's why I'm a huge proponent of get more veterans in office. Because who better to speak on the international stage about what's happening than people that actually fought in these wars?
Yeah.
And luckily we
Guys
have
like Eddie.
Huh?
Guys like Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Let's vote
Just
for Eddie.
full of knowledge of what we should be
I'd
doing
vote for you.
overseas. Dude, and well,
I'd vote for you in a second, and
I'm
a lot
sure.
of people would.
Well, and I'll get into that's also a problem where just because you're a veteran or just because you're prior elite does not give you a leg up, and it should not be an automatic like, yeah, I'm going to vote for him. He served for my country.
Correct.
Because I think we've seen now veterans are just like everybody else. They're human beings.
Yeah.
And there are good ones and there are bad ones. And there are ones that are going to abuse the system. That's why they're going into office. And they're like, I'm just going to ride this wave, make as much money as I can, or be what I call them a kite flyer. They really have no values that they stand on. It's like whatever way the wind's blowing,
Right.
now I'm going to go this way. It might go against exactly what they were saying before.
Yeah, it's
So
like have a backbone and just
Yeah.
stand for something. You stand for nothing.
Exactly. But that being said, I do think that they're, more honest, hardworking, like dudes that have actually had the experience of going overseas and fighting for this country. And I don't think just that experience alone gives you like the knowledge base of like, oh, I know how to solve all these problems, because you don't. I'm sorry. Like just because you went over and fought, and I'm throwing my name in that mix too. I don't have the first clue on like foreign relations or like how things work at that level.
Yeah.
But I do think with the experience that you have of like, hey, I've been over there, boots on the ground. I've fought, for this country. I fought the dudes that we're talking about. You can definitely add a lot to the conversation. But I think at the end of the day, it's like people need to realize like just because someone is a veteran does not mean they have this wealth of knowledge on everything.
Yeah.
They don't. And I think there's a stress. I think there's a stressor put on in law enforcement too. Law enforcement and veterans where it's like, oh, you're expected to know all this because we believe that you went and did this. And then some guys will play the game, be like, oh, no, I do know exactly what to do. And it's like, no, you don't, dude. You're full of shit.
Yes.
Just be honest and be humble. And I think that's the one key aspect that you can look at when an LE guy is running or a veteran's running that has served this country is humility.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
are you humble enough to say like, I don't know. I don't know the answer to this, but I'm going to work my ass off to find out and give you the best, answer
Perfectly
possible.
said. Yeah, just be humble and authentic. If you don't know something, just say, great question.
Yeah.
I don't know that yet. I'm going to research, look into it, come up with an answer for you. But when these people just pull these answers out of thin
Yeah.
air, you're like, okay, dude, like
Yeah.
you have no idea what you're saying right
It's
now.
the problem. Some of the honest, humble ones, LE or vets, they don't want to run for office.
Heck no,
That's
dude.
No,
the ones- all the good ones. don't
Because no
wanna
one
run.
wants to enter that. That's a trash world too. The whole political world. They just, like we were saying, they sell you out. It's all about money. But that's why we need people that, hey, I served my country, I served my community. I still have a heart for service, and that's why I'm running.
Yeah.
We need people like that.
Yeah.
Not because like, hey, I know I'm going to make a lot of money in the stock market now that I'm a congressman or something.
Yeah. And I think it takes, and I'm not like, this isn't to badmouth veterans or LE in any way. This is just a fact that not a fact. It's a observation that I've seen, and I'm throwing myself in this too, is it takes a lot of emotional intelligence to put your name in the hat to run. And the reason I say that is because once you put your name in that hat, you're free game.
Yeah.
And you will be attacked, you will be smeared, you will be criticized for stuff that you've never even done. Your family will be attacked, your family will be criticized, because that's the way the game is played.
Exactly.
And I don't think, and I was the same boat, like a lot of dudes, especially, veterans or coming from the soft community early, they don't have the emotional intelligence yet to deal with that. And I think some of them know it, which is why they're like, heck no, I don't want to throw my name in the hat because I don't want to deal with that. And I don't blame them. We talked about it. I got offered to run, and I debated it for 2 or 3 days with Andrea, and we were like, it's not worth it. We already got ran through the freaking ringer in the media, and I was like, do we want to do that again to our kids, or
Just put all you need is a little earpiece, and Andrea can be like, "This is what to say, Eddie."
Yeah.
She could just tell you.
Well, even
Andrea could run. I'll tell you that. Andrea can speak very
she can
well.
do whatever she wants, but again, it doesn't
She
matter,
just doesn't
dude.
want
It's
to.
like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why put ourselves through that again?
Yeah.
And that's coming
especially
from us.
after what you've
I'm
been
like,
through.
dude, and when is enough?
Yeah.
Like, buddy, my whole family served for 20 years. Like, believe me, we put in the sweat equity and served this country. And I think it does take it's a big act to, even if you had served for 20 years, to be like, okay, I'm putting my name in the hat again to do this.
Yeah.
But it's
You gotta think
also,
about
at
your
what
family.
cost is it? Is my family going to suffer? Yeah, they will. And do I want them to suffer? No. So therefore, and we didn't say no, never. We're like, not right now.
Yeah. Oh. Well, same thing. Like, I found it too. When you turn and give your life to Christ, the enemy is going to attack you way more.
Big time.
And I started seeing that after. I was like, man, I'm living for God now. I changed so much about myself. Why am I getting these attacks now? Why is work coming after me for just speaking out about the truth and speaking the truth about God, about the problems of this world? And I'm getting attacked for that now, for speaking out against the evil in this world. But then I remember, it's like, well, no, the closer you get to Christ, the more that enemy is going to attack you. The enemy is going to come from all over. It's going to come from people that you thought were your friends, the organization you worked for. And so it's kind of the same thing with politics. They're going to attack you to either put you down or to almost beat you into submission to do what they want you to do.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's been 2 years since you returned or started living for the Lord.
Right.
In the last 2 years, I mean, how tough has that been?
There's stretches of it's great, and then, like I said, that those attacks come. But I would say the last year, I've really found out what having that faith meant, and just submitting to God and saying, hey, look, I know you will take care of this as long as I put my faith in you first. Oh. And since doing that, stuff that I used to I would stress out over, have all this anxiety about, kind of just has gone away. I mean, it will come up like bits and pieces, but never like it was. And I'm like, that's just got to be God, because normally, before, I was that type of person, you did something to me, okay, I'm going to come after you, and I will sacrifice myself to take you down. And that's how I used to think, oh, you think you're going to get one over on me? No, I'll take myself out in this process to get back at you. Oh. And I was like, what am I doing? It's just being filled with that anger, and being able to release that is man, it's a great feeling.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I definitely hear that too. It's but that's the thing. If you have that attitude going into politics, oh, I'm going to take everybody down. It's then you're going to waste all of your energy going after freaking random nobodies that are attacking you.
And it's stuff that just doesn't matter at the end of the day. He's does it really matter? No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Is that pride?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a huge, huge thing.
Yeah.
So explain it. What's the process? So first, when did you first hey, I'm running?
I think it was in December of last year.
Okay.
It was no one had announced they were going to run against John Cornyn yet. I'm like, you know what? I'll get out there early, try to start getting some name recognition, because that's ultimately, it's the name recognition that carries these people. Mm-hmm. You could, and I was talking about this, you could be the best candidate, but when you come in this primary, if people don't know who you are, they're just going to, Cornyn, he's been in here since 2002. He's has an R next to his name. He must be a Republican. Vote for him. And that's where it comes down to. We need to start doing a better job, like all of us. Don't listen to the media. Go research stuff for yourself. If you research it for yourself, you'll find what you need to know. But too often people just go, see his TV ad.
Well,
looks good.
That's also a big ask nowadays too, to have people critically think and research for themselves, because they've done all these studies now, with all this technology advancement, AI. They've already done studies like people are getting dumber by the second, and their ability to critically think is going away because everything is being done for them. Everything is so easy, and it's like, have it, Chat GPT write me this paper or do whatever. Like, people have lost the ability to critically think, and when you do that, you become lazy too. And so it's like you don't even want to take the time to start looking and what's this guy about, and read what's going on with him.
Yeah, I saw a 5-second clip of this guy. This is all I needed to know. And it's like, well, dig a little further than that. But the critical thinking stuff, that's huge. And we really started seeing it so I was an FTO training officer for 6 years. And the people coming out of the academy now, compared to before, they've lost that ability to critically think. And being a police officer, that's all it is critical thinking. It's not a black and white issue on anything.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what situation, and you got to make a decision. And these people are just like, well, this is what they told me. This is what I'm going to do. I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. You're out of the academy. They taught you the basics, but you almost got to throw all that stuff away. You got to think for yourself. But people just don't have that anymore.
No.
They
this
don't.
is what I was told, and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to do anything
Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah. And even the people we are getting in law enforcement now, and like I said, after the George Floyd stuff, they don't want to be police officers for the right reason. It was more, hey, pay's good, good benefits. I'll do this for a few years.
9 to 5.
Yeah.
When we know that Ellie is a lifestyle.
Right. And it was like, well, no, I did this job because I wanted to go out and arrest bad guys. Like, that's what this whole job is. Go out and take these bad people off the street. And that you don't want to do that part of the job. It's like, what are you doing here? Yeah. So that's why we see, we used to, LAPD was they were the first one to really do proactive policing. So they'd go out just stopping anyone they could to see what they could get and take them to jail, right? They were kind of pioneered that type of policing. Now it's kind of gone away, where it's like, we're going to go hands off until someone actually calls us and says something's happening, then we'll act. And it's like, that's why we're having so many issues now, because people think they can just get away with whatever they want.
And you think it all started around George Floyd?
Yeah, because I think everyone's like, they don't want to be the next police officer that's, on trial for doing their job.
Yeah. Do you think it had to do with George Floyd at all, or the political environment just merged together right then at that moment?
I think it was the perfect storm.
Yeah.
You had that incident, and that sparked the fire, and that led to whole defund the police, which I always thought was just the stupidest thing, because if you want better trained police officers,
fund them more.
You need to fund them so they could go to these training courses and they could be better cops. Sure. But no, we want to defund them so we could get the bottom of the barrel that shouldn't be in this career. And what are you going to have years down the road? More problems.
Yeah. And training matters. And because I go and train LA departments or SWAT teams and stuff like that here and there, and with GBRS Group 2. Have you done one of their courses?
No, but I'm a big fan of theirs and all the
awesome.
stuff that they're putting out.
Yeah, they're phenomenal, man. DJ, Cole, Joey, and all them are just. I'm super close with them.
It's awesome.
They're great. But what I see when we go train these units is there's a small batch of them that had like, I'm here, I want to train, this is what I joined to do, and then there's another group of them that show up. They're like, I'm being told I have to be here. When is this over? When is lunch? How much time are we getting for lunch? Like, and it's like, dude, what you don't realize is the lack of experience that you guys have. There should be no work through lunch. Like, dude, we need to train to get you guys up to speed. But unfortunately, some of the mindset is like, no, man, I'm clocking out at 5. And I'm like, dude, when you have a job where it's to defend the people where you live, protect them, and then possibly have to take down a bad guy, like, you can't train enough.
Right.
Yeah. And if you have that mindset where it's a 9 to 5, and it's like, you're a liability then to everybody that you're protecting.
Yeah, that's where the fine line comes in. You have to be all in when you're there, and you have to learn how to turn it off when you're at home.
Yeah.
But to go in and think like, I'm just going to show up, do whatever I need to do. It's like, okay, you're what gets people killed at the end of the day. And I think it's kind of a generational thing. We're seeing like such a soft generation, like that are coming out of college now and everything. And it's like, how do we fix this? Like, where do people become just so soft and emotionally based on everything? Everything's about emotion now. This doesn't make me feel good, so I'm not going to do it. It's like that's not the real world. You got to get over it, suck it up.
Again, I'll go back to, I think it's with the advancement in technology. I think it's just going to be the end of us. And I think with these, and I see it, and, my youngest son's 16. And, I see some of the kids he hangs around with, and they're all great kids, but they legitimately don't know what, a real problem is. You know what I mean? And I get it, man. When you're young, it's like every problem is like a big problem, but they don't know and I think their parents don't know either what a big problem, what real problems are. And dude, sometimes I'm like, the only solution that I see where it could just change is like, dude, something catastrophic has to happen to where it's like, oh, guess what? Now you have to fend for yourself. Yeah. Now you have to figure things out to survive. Like, things aren't just going to be handed to you. You're going to be put in a spot where it's like life or death. Yeah. I think that's when people will wake up and be like, all right, but I don't want that to happen either. You know what I mean? But I think it's something like that. It's like 9/11. Yeah. Look at 9/11. Look how that changed the country the next day. It was like everyone was united, everyone was together, and then that dissipated and we started going back into our creature comfort habits, and then people started being brainwashed again by the media.
Yeah, and like you're saying, the technology stuff, what we're really seeing is people can't even have conversations now. They sit inside so long playing these video games or being on their computers. Like growing up, going to school, somebody always had a broken arm, broken leg, because they're outside playing all the time. You hardly see any kids now with any type of broken bone because they're just so, caught up playing their video games. And then you try to have conversations with them, and they're like, they don't even know how to converse with someone outside of speaking on a headset to someone across the world. And that's been a big problem too. It's like, you need to have, and I think that's what we're seeing in politics now. It's both sides just can't ever have a conversation with each other. It's either you're this way or that way. You could have a great, solution on the table that everyone would agree on, but because it was proposed by one side, the other side has to say, nope, we don't want it.
Well, it's teams. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like I might disagree with some of the stuff my team does, but at the same time, I'm on this team, so I have to. Right. Like, nope, we're right. And it's, there's that ability to have a decent conversation and actually break down, like, okay, what are the real issues here that we need to solve? Yeah.
I mean, we used to see it like politics back in the day. It kind of seemed like everybody wanted the best for the country. And there was just two ways of getting to it. So both people wanted the same objective, but now it's like polar opposites. Like, one looks like they just want to destroy the country, and the other's trying to do all they can to save it. And it's like, where can that middle ground ever be again, where it's like, we want to work for the best for this country. Yeah, you may have a different way of getting there, but let's talk about it, figure out a way to ultimately accomplish this objective.
And go ahead.
Didn't they used to, it used to be like, hey, common ground, right? Like between liberals or Democrats and Republicans, you would have, military, like you'd have certain things that were, immigration, like stuff like that, that you would say, hey, these are ones that everyone agrees on. This is like American. And then there was just kind of the fray stuff that, social issues, economic, like that they would disagree on. Right. Now it's like there's no common ground.
Well, because the extremists on both sides have taken control. Right. And that's the issue. What you're talking about back in the day is a moderate Democrat, a moderate Republican. Yeah. And they could sit there and have a conversation, but the extremist views have taken hold now.
And it's all emotion based. Yeah. Everything's emotion. How's it going to make me feel? Yeah. And like the immigration stuff, these laws have been on the books under Democrats. They were the ones that put in. The Democrats had deported more people than Trump ever has, but now it's an issue. Yeah. And it's like, well, no, it's not an issue. It's just an issue because you don't like the person doing it, the person that's in office right now. And now we're seeing, like, I'm sure you've seen all the videos of like LA, these protests and everything. It's like, how do you think this is a good idea to go out and wave your country's flag, destroy property, saying you want to be here? You know, how different would it be if they're all out waving American flags, saying, we love this country, we want to be here because we love what this country represents? It would be a game changer. People would actually probably have more of a heart for saying, oh, I get why these people want to be here. But when you want to destroy our country, it's like, why wouldn't we want to get rid of you?
Yeah. You know, I think, well, the whole like immigration issue and what's going on right now, I mean, at the end of the day, we let in how many over the past 4 years, right?
Yeah.
It was being televised, you know, and then also on social media daily while the Biden administration was in, like, oh, we just let in another 300,000 or whatever the numbers were, right? So in order to fix that right now, it's like, and I think that, you know, Holman and them are doing the best they can, and they're like, hey, we need to get rid of these people that don't belong here, they're not doing any good for this country either. Yeah. And I think they're actually, you know, and they are trying to, like, even if you are here illegally, but you are providing something to this country and being, you know, a person that is thriving in America and actually adding something to it, they're trying to be like, okay, they can stay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Nothing is black and white, just like you stated before.
Exactly.
It is going to be messy, man, because you let this mess in the past 4 years. So there's no, like, really precise, proper way to clean this up. Will there be people that get deported that probably shouldn't? Yes. But on the flip side, there's also going to be people that should be deported that are still here.
Right.
So it's not going to be a perfect plan, but you got to let it play out. Like, at least clean it up some.
Yeah, kind of start over. We're going to get rid of all these people, and now let's see how we could let people back in. Because I get it. Like, who wouldn't want to come to America?
Yeah.
Greatest country on the earth. I get why you'd want to be here. But if you're coming because you love this country and you want to do it, come. Just do it the legal way. And, I mean, that whole thing needs to get fixed. I'm sure there's a way to streamline it where people could get, you know, their legal status quicker. But just do the correct thing.
Yeah.
And then there won't be a problem. But, like, the whole mass immigration under Biden, one of my friends, he was a former F-15 pilot. Now he's a pilot for American Airlines. So he used to fly he was living in San Antonio, but he was working out of Dallas. So he'd hop on a quick flight before his shift to get to Dallas. So he'd always check the night before. He's like, tons of open seats on this flight. I'll just show up, get on, go to work. He's like, but I would get there in the morning and no seats would be available. He's like, this is odd. Like, there was always seats. And he shows up, massive line at a separate ticket counter. He goes up to the cop. He's like, hey, what's this line here? He's like, oh, these are all the illegals getting their free one-way ticket to wherever they want to go. He's like, you got to be kidding me. He's like, we're just paying. Yeah. He's like, we don't know where they're going. He's like, you're just handing them a free ticket? Like, yeah, essentially. And I'm like, that's just crazy.
I saw it at the airports where there was a group of them, like probably 20 to 30. They don't even go through security. They're just like, we were going through security, and they just brought 30. Yeah. And they're like, hey, they're putting them on a plane, send them to wherever state to
and it's the stuff
start
like
their
that.
lives or whatever. Yeah,
it's just
that's what was going on.
No common sense to that. It's like anybody with a brain would be like, probably shouldn't do this, but it happened, and that's why they're spread out everywhere, and that's why they're having to go locate them all.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
Hey, what's up, guys? So when I'm not doing the podcast, I'm doing a lot of traveling. I put on training all over the country for LE and civilians. I also travel a lot for my nonprofit, the Pipe Hitter Foundation. And as you guys know, travel, going back and forth, can wear you down. But this past year, I have found the antidote. So let me put you on to Aquavita, Destin's premier IV therapy and oxygen bar. This place is owned and operated by a board-certified ER physician with over 23 years of experience, so you know your health is in good hands. Every IV drip is mixed to Board of Pharmacy standards and backed by CDC-level infection control. Whether you're dealing with a fatigue, a hangover, jet lag, stress, immunity issues, or even PMS, they've got custom vitamin drips and boosters tailored just for that. When you go inside, the place is pretty awesome. It puts you at ease right when you go in there. They have comfy lounge chairs, which are perfect for singles or couples, full group sessions. And you can even book the whole space for bachelor or bachelorette parties, race day recovery, or wellness events. While you're in there, they go the extra mile too. They'll give you blankets, sleep masks, earplugs, aromatherapy oxygen, all complimentary. And the best part, every visit includes direct care from the physician and experienced RNs, all focused on fast, safe, and affordable wellness. So if you're in the Destin area, hit up Aquavita. Your body will definitely thank you. It's a mess, and there's no perfect way to clean it up, and that's what people have to realize.
Exactly. There's never going to be a perfect answer to any of this stuff.
That's crazy.
No.
Last weekend, I met Tom Homlin.
Holman?
Oh, you met him?
Oh,
Yeah.
did you?
Yeah,
Where
at that event in Tampa. It's that Republican.
Oh, yeah. The one Charlie Kirk and all those guys were at?
Yeah,
Oh,
I got to
the,
meet him too. He's tall.
Very cool.
Super tall. But I turned around, and we were in this back staging area. I turned around, and Tom Homlin?
Holman. Yeah.
Homan. Tom Homan's right there. And I was like, he's like, "How are you doing?" And I shook his hand. And like for a second, I thought, don't let him, like I was gonna get deported. Like don't let him on. That I don't know.
What?
He's just he's an intimidating dude.
Yeah.
Did you watch his full speech?
The only things I've seen of him are on Fox or CNN of just going, just talking about, my boys are going to be deporting everyone out of here. And so the very first thought I had is like, don't let them like catch your cue. Like I was illegal.
Like you were illegal?
Yeah.
But what's so refreshing about him is he's giving that leadership to those guys and finally like empowering them to do their job.
They have a directive.
Right.
Like they actually have like, hey, this is what your mission is.
And they're supported
Yeah.
by the top
I
level.
like him.
Yeah, he's been great for that job.
Well, what I think I like about him is you probably see what you get.
Exactly.
Like he doesn't seem like someone that's playing the game.
And I think that's what people want to see more of. They want that authentic individual. I think that's why Trump had such a big draw to him was this is just who he is. Mm-hmm. He's not trying to play this politician, give you whatever answer you want to hear. He's just telling you whatever's on his mind. And it's kind of refreshing to see that. It's like, well, yeah, I just want to know what do you truly believe?
Yeah. Well, it's something real.
Yeah.
And you might not like it, but guess what? It's real.
Exactly.
And that's the way he feels. So is that one? That's obviously one of the big issues that you're running on is the border, coming from Texas.
Huge.
Right? Yeah. What other issues are you like pressing?
Well, the big thing with Cornyn was when he voted for the Safer Communities Act, which was implementing the red flag laws. So I'm totally against any gun legislation. I'm against. I think
What is the red flag laws?
it basically violates due process. So you just make an allegation, hey, you committed domestic violence. You haven't been to trial. You haven't been convicted of anything. But we're going to come take your guns away. And now you're going to have to fight to get those guns back. So it just violates due process. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm a huge proponent on the Second Amendment. I think it's clear as day what it was made for. It's for us to ultimately fight back against the tyrannical government if it ever came to that. It's not about, I can't stand when the left goes, it's for hunting. You could have a gun to go hunt. No, that's not what it was for. But they want to strip it down as much as they can so you can't arm yourself. So that's why I'm just against any type of gun legislation. It's like we got to keep guns in Americans' hands. That's what's kept us kind of safe for the last 250 years is people know we're an armed population. It's like who's going to want to come mess with a bunch of Americans with guns? So that's a huge thing, especially in Texas. That's kind of what did him in. It's like you can't call yourself a Republican and be voting for a Democrat.
Which is insane because he's not. What Dan Crenshaw did the same thing.
Same thing.
Right? He wanted red flag laws, voted for it, and he tries to talk his way out of it. But it's like you voted for it. Like you are a proponent of it.
Exactly.
And you talk about red flags. That should be a red flag to anybody. If you're, senator or congressman in your district is like for red flag laws, that only means one thing. They want complete power.
That's
because what red flag laws is basically, Dave, I could be like, I don't like the way you just like looked at me or did you in a threatening manner.
Yeah.
I'd go report you. They come and they're taking your guns. That's as easy as that, dude.
Yeah, and then you're going to have to go through that whole legal battle of trying to get your guns back.
And that's what they want. They're like,
By accusation alone.
But only accusation.
Wow.
yeah.
So it's crazy. And the other thing,
I don't know if there's anything more unconstitutional.
It's
than,
meant to
Right?
produce a society of rats. That's it.
It's all about control.
Yeah.
How can we control the people and slowly take their guns away from them? Oh, this is a great one. People could just start making stuff up. We could take more guns away. And we know they're going to have to spend. People can't afford attorneys to go fight these cases for them. I mean, it's insane to defend yourself for doing nothing wrong. You're going to have to pay thousands of dollars, which most people don't have.
Yeah.
So they just go, I'm never going to get my guns back. It's a loss.
Or if you're a law enforcement probably, or veteran, like if those red flag laws were in place, I wouldn't be able to have any guns because they'd be like, well, you are diagnosed with TBI and whatever, PTSD. You can't have guns.
Yeah.
It's simple as that, which is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, Cornyn's been a huge proponent of the Patriot Act, FISA warrants. So, and not the Patriot Act just to use it against foreign enemies, but to use it against Americans. And I'm anti any surveillance on American citizens. Unless you have definitive proof or there's reason to believe this person is aiding another country or is like an enemy of ours, sure. But to surveil and normal everyday American citizens is just mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like we're built on freedom, but they're taking that all away.
Yeah, well, what started out as a good thing or something that was meant to be good, which the Patriot Act did start out that way, was, hey, we need to catch these terrorist cells that are coming into our country so 9/11 doesn't happen again, because they were probably like, we could have prevented this. But of course, once it gets implemented, it gets weaponized, and it's like, well, we can use this Patriot Act now to
they
target
spy on our opponents.
our own citizens. Yeah, or
and
spy on opponents.
Trump suffered from that.
Yep.
And it's all about, because there's those little loopholes in the legislation, which to go, well, doesn't forbid us from using it against Americans, so we're going to start using it. So
What's that movie, dude, Snowden?
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie?
Yes.
That's a great movie, man. And
It really is.
it shows it like straight up. He's like, this is legal, because they're just getting into people's webcams and watching like women undress, and,
Right.
and doing whatever, and they're like, yeah, this is the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
Like, we can do whatever we want.
Well, and look what they did to Tucker Carlson, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. You're an American citizen, and he was a journalist at the time, and you're going to start spying on him? It's like, who will they not spy
Yeah, it's
on?
like, where does it end?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And now we have cameras everywhere recording everything we do. And
Well, we also have the anxiety box.
Yeah, we're
right here.
recording ourselves and everything. Cell phones. I would like to just go back to one of those like dumb phones and not have anything. But
Go back to a beeper. You remember those days? You had to go.
but you
use
become
the payphone?
so reliant on your phone for everything.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
think like, I use it to for directions. I use it for my email. I use it for music. And it's like, well, so the convenience of having that, but what are you giving up to have that convenience?
Your critical thinking skills, which is like, think about, Dave, when you grew up, like, how many phone numbers did you have memorized?
Like 50? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
like,
had
I mean,
to memorize them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
like-
probably had 15
Or I had them
numbers
on my
memorized.
pager.
Well, yeah, until a pager comes along, but it's like that was a skill back then.
Right.
If you think about it, it's like, I have all my friends, my family numbers all memorized. Dude, I probably have two numbers memorized now in my that I can think
Is
of.
one of them mine?
1-800 I love guys.
That's my old number.
Yeah.
No, I do think here's the only thought I have with tech stuff is like I think of 1800s till we grew up in the 80s. So like 1800s to the 80s, like they're looking at guys in the 80s and they're going, weak sons of bitches, like like they don't. I think it's gonna continue to get more comfortable, more soft. Like that's gonna.
Yeah.
Which is dangerous.
It is dangerous. But I don't think tech's going away at all. I think it's going to be exponential, especially with AI. I mean, just AI in the last 6 months. I know from from coding it, it is exploded.
It's changed everything.
Yeah, even the updates. When you update one of your Chat GPTs or whatever, it almost becomes twice as good with one update.
I know.
You know, and so
It's because it's being fed by so much. It's collecting everything and just learning and learning and learning.
So it's not gonna go away. And so I think of like, hey, how do we adjust to it, or how do we, you know? And I do hope that there's going to be more trends. I don't know if it's a legislation thing. I really don't think it is going to be. I think it's going to be a cultural thing. But I think if you have guys that begin culturally, if we begin to go, hey, we take time out. There's stuff like lock boxes that you put your phone in it, and as soon as you close it, you know, you can't get it for another 5 hours or whatever you set it at. And it's like just a way for them to just begin to detach from tech for a while, come back, use it, but intermittently.
Yeah.
You know? And
So you're saying, like, impose that on everybody?
no, I don't think you impose anything.
No,
Not at all.
No.
I don't think it's a legislation
that's-
thing. I think it's
okay.
a cultural thing.
Well, yeah,
of like
it is.
people choosing to
but
do
It's
that.
being self-aware and saying
Survival of the fittest, man.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. It's like, dude, if you can't critically think and go out of your way, because like to take health, like, dude, if you aren't going out of your way to be healthy and to like do the right things for your body and take the right supplements, then that's on you.
Right.
Because nowadays, man, we all know like everything that's being fed to us or advertised to us is it's to make you a patient.
Yeah,
It's to make you a patient
exactly.
for life. And also with the advancement of technology and, you know, with AI, ChatGPT, the doctors that you're going to have in the future all had ChatGPT write their papers, do all their stuff. They're not going to know shit either, dude.
Yeah.
So if you are depending on them, that's on you, dude. It's survival of the fittest time. And that's the way I look at it. It's like you have to go out of your way to take care of yourself.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully that becomes more like culture. As a culture, we choose to do those things more, like pro health,
Yeah.
critical thinking,
Yeah.
like stuff like that. I mean, I don't think you impose it on anyone.
No,
I think
and I'm all for freedom. Like, dude, it's like
Yeah.
if you want to smoke crack,
yeah.
Go
go
for
ahead,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
That's on you, bro. Like,
Yeah. There's enough research you could do that yourself, and you still want to make that choice. That's
Yeah.
on you.
You may want to
Yeah.
ask ChatGPT first if you should smoke crack. But
Yeah.
Yeah, just get back to let people do what they want to do. But yeah, I mean, it comes to
Also, let people suffer the consequences of their actions and not
true.
make excuses for them. And be
Exactly.
like, well, this is because the food, they're fat because everything's being fed to them is unhealthy. It's like, dude, you chose to throw those hamburgers in your mouth. Like,
Right.
nobody forced you to eat Twinkies. Nobody forced you to do anything. These are the consequences of your actions. And that's another problem I see with this, with our society, is like we bend the knee to the weak. We're like, oh, this isn't your fault. This is somebody else's fault that you're, you know, a disgusting fat body. Like, no, dude.
it's a victim culture.
Yes, it's
everybody's a victim of something, which is just ridiculous.
all the way down to being a pedophile. It's like, well, that's
Yeah.
not their fault. Something happened to them when they were young, or they were born this way. Like, where does it end with the whole victim
Right.
mentality?
Yeah,
Like,
it
so
just-
now nobody's accountable for any of their actions.
Yeah, and it just keeps going even further, and you're like, this is just insanity at this point.
Yeah.
Like, fix yourself. At the end of the day, just take responsibility for what you've done and make the change. And we kind of seen it. Like even like these diehard Christians that are great pastors now, most of them reached a very low point in their life, and now they're on fire for it because they realized they had to hit that rock bottom to really know what they needed.
Yes.
And if you don't take that rock bottom and then use it for something beneficial, then you're just going to stay stuck. And that's where that victim mindset comes in. Well, I can't get myself out of this.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep doing what I do.
And those make the best pastors, or people like the ones that
Right.
have been rock bottom, the ones that have like made mistakes in their life. And that goes to leadership in general. Usually the best leaders in the military that were in charge of me had, like in the Navy, you either have gold stripes or red stripes on your dress blues, right? Gold means I've never been in trouble. You know,
No.
red means I've been knocked down a couple times, you know, in my career, but now I'm a master chief. Those are the dudes I'm listening to, man. Because it's
Exactly.
like they've been through it, and they're not going to make these decisive decisions that just ruin people's careers. They're like, dude, I've made mistakes. I can bounce back from them. and here's what I'm doling out to you.
Right.
Where it's usually the people that are like, I've never done anything wrong, so therefore you need to leave. And it's like, dude, those are the worst leaders. And the reason they've never done anything wrong is because they've never put themselves out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it means something when those guys that have been through it and they come to you and like, hey, you don't want to do this. You don't want to go down the path I did because this is what's going to happen. It holds more weight because you're like, okay, he's been through it.
Yeah.
Do I really want to do it myself now if he's telling me all the terrible things that came from it? Probably not.
Yeah.
But when it's just someone standing up there like, don't do this. Well, have you done it? No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it doesn't hold much weight, does it?
Exactly. So what? So when does the voting process start?
So the primary is in March
Okay.
of 26. And talking about politics, like the change, that's where the real change happens is in these primaries. Because if you want to get out somebody, and it falls on us. We could say this politician's terrible, but why are we voting for him again? If he's so terrible, vote in your primary, research the candidates, and replace them. So it ultimately falls on us because we could complain all we want, but we're electing these people time and time again. And the one name we brought up earlier, it's like, if you don't like what he's doing and he's voting against what you want, vote him out in the primary. Because if he wins that primary again, he's going to be in again.
Yeah.
It's just the same cycle repeating
Primary
itself.
will be like him, you,
Whoever,
and
whoever decides to run.
You said there's like 10 others?
Yeah,
or-
there's like 10 others right now.
Okay. And so you're going to choose between those 11 in the
Correct.
primary. And is it how does that work? Is it like one day and the next day you get the results?
Yeah, pretty much. Just like a one-day vote, and then you'll have whoever your comes out of that primary, they'll go up against the Democrat in that election.
Okay.
So they hold their own primary.
yeah.
Got you.
Then you come together.
When is that vote?
For the actual general election, that'll be next November.
Okay.
So November of
shit.
26.
That's a ways after the primary, huh?
Yeah, so it gives you that whole time to then campaign. But like the problem is with these. So in Texas, I'm sure you've heard of Jasmine Crockett.
No, go ahead.
I've heard of it.
Okay, researcher.
Oh no, is this the black chick that's like
Yes.
super?
That just spews out lies and just out race baiting everything.
Yeah, dude.
Her. She's talking about running for the Senate seat in Texas.
Bro, does she have like a 4th grade level education, or I mean, what has anybody looked up her high school diploma?
That's the funny thing. Her whole backstory is like a complete lie. Raised very well off, like upper middle class, went to law school, but she speaks like someone that never.
Yeah,
even
like
got
she was a
out-
part of 3-6 Mafia or something.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, but people are voting for this. And it's like, this is who's representing our state, our country. It's disgraceful at a point. Because what do these other countries see when they turn on the news and they see Crockett speaking? Like, how stupid are you? You elect this? This is who's representing your people?
Yeah.
It's a joke.
So it's gonna be you versus Crockett.
That would be fun.
So let me ask you this then. So now that the election process has started, right? You guys are all 10 of you are running. Has there been already like attacks on you or stuff put out?
Not
Right.
against me because I don't have the name recognition that like the Attorney General has that's running against Cornyn. So I haven't faced any of that yet, and I don't think any of the others have because it's basically just the top 2 right now that are just throwing dirt at each
Yeah.
other, and it's all stuff we already know. But it's just ridiculous. It's like the stuff they throw out there. Like, this doesn't affect how he's going to be in office, and that's what people need to look at too. Like, okay, yeah, the Attorney General faced an impeachment a couple years ago while he was Attorney General, and it was pushed by Cornyn. So that's why he wants to run against him, because it's kind of like, you push this whole thing against me, like, okay, well, I'm going to come take your seat now.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I'm kind of looking at. Like, do you want to do it for the right reason, or are you kind of just doing it because you want to get back at the guy?
Yeah.
He's a great Attorney General. He fought the Biden admin on tons of stuff, won tons of cases, diehard conservative. But it's like, are you doing it because you want that seat for the right reasons, or are you doing it just because you want to get back at the guy that pushes against you?
Yeah. That's got to be tough, man. Like, that's the one thing is, if you're running against 9 other individuals, right? And then I imagine, because you guys are all running Republican, it's like everybody's running on the same
Pretty much
platform, the same values, the same talking points, right? And I always think that it's like, dude, well, the last thing I would want to do is just start slinging mud and being like, well, look at this person, because it's just like, dude, that's such a pathetic move. But it's almost impossible you not to, because at the end of the day, if you weren't attacking each other and it was just like you guys are all up there and like, we all stand for the same thing.
Yeah.
Choose
Vote
one
for
of us.
one of us.
I know, and that's the sad thing is you don't want to tear someone else down to build yourself up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's terrible. So like, I just try to look at the facts. Like, Cornyn, you voted for this stuff. It's just a fact. I'm not attacking you personally. You just voted anti-Republican. So I wish it would go more to that kind of attacks. Like, hey, we're just going to bring up the facts of how you're voting, your views on certain issues. That's fair game. But when you start throwing out personal life stuff, it's like, what does that have to do with any of this?
Well, that should tell the voter all they need to know too. Is like, if you're the individual that's like start attacking your personal life, and it's like, well, look at whatever they bring up. It's like the voter's like, dude, okay, so that's the type of individual you are. You guys are running the same stuff.
Yeah.
To me, I'd be like, I'm going to go with this guy because he's holding the high ground and he's not attacking him, his opponent, just to freaking demean him.
Well, it's like the same old thing. Don't throw stones when you live in a glass house.
Oh, yeah.
All of us have stuff in our past.
Yeah, I say don't peel that onion back, because once you start doing it, everybody's going to start crying.
Right.
Right. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet or stuff that they have that, nobody's perfect.
Right. And that's where it really comes down to just relying on Christ. Like, hey, I did these things in my past, but I'm dead to my old self. I did these things, but that's not who I am now.
Yeah.
We need more of that, of people just owning what they did, owning their mistakes, and having that true repentance and saying, I did these things. I don't want to see anyone else do them, terrible things, but this is who I am now. And if you approached it that way, you wouldn't have all these stones being thrown, because you would be like, look, you're saying this person did that, but look who they are now. So, they did that. That was terrible they did. But I'm not going to hold that against them anymore, because I could see them for who they are now.
Yeah.
How much of it is just people liking you? Like, how much of a vote, when they're choosing people in a vote, I imagine maybe even more than half of it is just, they just like that person.
I think that's
so
huge.
much.
I think that's what...
It's like, I don't really even care as much of how they voted or their specific policies. It's just I like him. I think
that's what we saw with Obama.
Yeah.
He came out speaking, very well. Like, you're like, this guy's charismatic. He speaks very well. People are like, oh, I'm drawn to him. I'm not even listening to what his policies are. Yeah. I just like how he sounds when he's up there speaking.
Yeah. It makes me comfortable knowing that he can speak well and eloquently. And, I might not even know what he's talking about, but I just... Yeah, I think there was a lot of that.
It's kind of like Newsom too. He turns on this, and people are like blinded by it, because when I watch him, like, this guy's just he's a scumbag. But so many people are drawn to, he's so charismatic. He's always moving his hands around and acting like this and that. It's like, okay, but look what he stands for. Yeah. Look what he's doing. Like, don't be fooled by this.
Yeah, the gift of gab, man.
Yeah.
The silver tongue. That goes a long way, especially in politics.
Yeah.
Well, what's your plan as far as like advertising, campaigning? Are you going to bring in are you going to bring in like video crews and shoot ads, and are you going to just do the podcast circuit, obviously?
Yeah, social media and the podcast thing is huge right now, especially we saw with politics. I think that's what really helped Trump win this last time. He went on all those podcasts. You just saw how real and authentic he was. It's like, there's no difference than when he's up speaking to the media. He's just who he is. Yeah. And I think that's helped a lot. But when it comes down to advertising, that name recognition, and that's where the money comes in. It sucks that politics is so focused on money, because you could buy your name recognition if you know, if you have a bank with $8 million in from donations, you could run ads all across the state all the time, and people get to know who you are. But I've been kind of focusing on going out to the more rural communities. I was out in Midland. I'm going out to Paris, Texas next week to speak at an event. So it's really trying to connect with those communities that are underrepresented, that don't have as large of a voice. Because I think that's where your strongest base comes from, are those, diehard Texas Republicans that want to be represented, but they kind of feel like they're lost, like no one listens to them. So I'm kind of trying to make a big push in those communities to try to pull them in.
Yeah.
What about obviously you're going to get questioned on, international affairs. Like, have you already been like the whole Israel conflict and all that? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
I mean, because that's going to get brought up, and I
Yeah.
feel like as a politician, it's like whatever answer you give, it's like that's going to make or break.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge one right now. And it's weird because I've never seen such an anti-Israel movement as much as today. And it's like, well, they've been one of our closest allies for so long. And yes, every government has its issues.
Yeah.
Every government
Yeah.
does. Us included. We're not always the good guys. Like, we could go throughout history and say, probably shouldn't have done some of these things we've done. Like, especially when we remove people from power and who gets in next? Someone even worse.
Yeah.
But we thought we were doing like some great thing. So I say, like, yeah, we may not agree with what the Israeli government is doing all the time, but is it going to benefit us in the end? Like, I thought the strike on Iran, it's like Iran has hated us. They chant death to America all the time. So why wouldn't we take this opportunity to strike them, not put troops on the ground, and kind of get a win out of it? So I'm all for it if it's going to benefit us in some way, because I think we need to put America first ultimately as our objective.
Yeah.
And then take care of our problems first, and then if we could go out and help others, yeah, of course. But we got to focus on taking care of our own first. And I think
that's where the problem lies, right? Is where people are like, okay, Israel is our ally, but then we're like, we need to take care of America first. But we are giving so much money to Israel,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, at what point is like, can we use that money for us
Right.
here in America?
Exactly.
And I think that's where people are divided. These people that critique or comment on the actual war between, what's going on with Palestine and Israel and then all that, I'm just like, dude, critiquing or trying to like voice your opinion on what should happen in war is like, that's like coming in the middle of a divorce and you're like, hey, this is what I think you guys should do, and you have no
Right.
no history, or you don't know the history between these two individuals, and there's a lot there, and you're not gonna be able to just come in and be like, this is what I think you should do. They're gonna be like, one of them like, fuck off, like this person did this, and it gets so deep.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's why I can't stand. I'm like, this is what Israel should do, and this is what Palestine should do. It's like, shut up. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about. And yeah, I'm sorry to say, when two countries are at war, civilians die.
Yeah.
Lots of them. We did it. We did it in Afghanistan. We did it in Iraq. It's like, that's just part of what war is. And it's disgusting and it's ugly, but you can't sit there and blame one side. They both are, at
Right.
fault, and they're both right. So,
Yeah. And then turning it back biblically, you got to look at these things like, there's never going to be this world peace that all these liberals want. There is going to be a time of peace.
you don't believe in
but
the
it's gonna be-
coexist bumper sticker?
Yeah. that time of peace is going to come after major war, major death. So it's like, it's going to be here. War's going to be here. It's been here since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And war's an ugly thing, but it's inevitable.
War
Everyone's
between those two is biblical.
Yeah.
I mean,
The whole Middle East.
straight
the
back
whole
to-
Middle
The
East.
whole Middle East has been at war with each other
Yes.
since the beginning of humans. Like, that's just the way it is over there.
And it just gets more attention now because we all have phones that could record everything and upload it to the internet right away. So people are seeing stuff that's been happening throughout history. They just are now more aware of it. Where it's like, well, the same stuff was happening 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Same stuff was happening 50 years ago. It's just you now see it in real time.
Yeah, there's a lot of that too. Yeah, so people I think they have the right to voice their opinions now. Now that they're like seeing it, and it's like, dude, you have no idea how long this has been going on.
Yeah, and that's
well, they're also being guided by bots, honestly.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
so
yeah.
if I want to spread right or wrong, whether it's correct or misinformation, I can write scripts, and now I can have agentic AI. I can have agents telling other agents that, like, and populating social media posts. and
yeah,
I can make pictures. I can make videos. I
I know.
can persuade opinion.
Yeah, easily.
That's the scary part of it.
Yeah, and it goes back to critical thinking. Think about this yourself.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't stand the people that, especially like these social media influencers, you barely graduated high school, and now you want to comment on, international affairs that are happening all over the world. Like, you're some expert. It's like, unless you educated yourself on this and you could provide all these facts and data to back it up, just keep your mouth shut. Because you're just influencing people that have no idea what's going on. And they just think because you have a following that you're correct. Yeah. It's like, man.
Yeah, like if someone, how would it go over, like if someone did ask you that, like you're sitting there and I'm sure all your people that you're running against, they'll give their thoughts on it. If it came to you and you're just like, no comment.
Yeah, I don't think you'd ever have no comment.
I'll figure it out when I get in there, but no comment.
Yeah.
Like that. When it comes down to humility, it's like, dude, I don't know the answer right now.
Yeah.
With that kind of stuff going on over there, I don't think anyone has the answer.
That's what I mean. It's like, just be honest, dude. It's like, dude, I don't know what the solution is. I think Trump is playing the game correctly. I think he's playing chess, and like even with we did the Iranian nuke strike, but we let Iran retaliate. They told us they were going to retaliate, where they were going to retaliate, and Trump let it happen so they could save face.
Yeah,
and I think that is all a chess chess moves to like
chess.
At least bring. It's not going to be peace, but at least bring what we can consider stability.
Right.
For them.
Yeah. But going back to the money aspect, like Ukraine, how many billions of dollars did we give to a war, and what benefit to us? I can understand if we were pouring billions of dollars into a country, but we were benefiting. It was protecting America's interests somehow. But it's like, we have so many people.
Well, it benefits the industrial military complex. That's who it benefits.
That's what it benefits.
Yeah.
And that's where these warmonger politicians are like, let's keep it going.
Like Ted Cruz. Dude, that interview with Tucker Carlson, I was like, wow. Because Tucker was asking valid questions, and it's like, now, we know. Like, you're all about send troops over and do this, and it's like, dude, when did you ever go over and do anything?
Right.
When did you serve? Like, you can't, know.
And it's funny, when did the Democrats used to be the anti-war party, and now it's like totally flipped.
Yeah.
Where Republicans are like, no, we want to stay out. Like, if it's not affecting America, we're staying out of this, which I think is the right answer. Mm-hmm. If we're not under an imminent threat and something's going to happen here to us, why are we getting involved?
Yeah.
Like, war's bad, but let these countries deal with their problems. Focus on what we need to take care of here. We've got so many issues here inside of America that we need to focus on.
Yeah.
And the money aspect, how many veterans could those billions of dollars go to help and get them off the street and help them, recover? It's like, we could do a lot of good with that money, but no, we're funneling it to a war that's just never going to end.
That's just going to create more problems.
Right.
Yeah. This is true. Yeah. You got a lot to clean up once you get in, or try to attempt to clean up, for sure.
And that's the other hard problem. We're seeing a lot of good politicians get in that have great ideas, but if they don't come with the money and the backing of others, they just get sidelined. And that's a whole other issue. It's like, you could have the best bill you want to propose, but if you're not willing to give up something to get people to back you, just
Who's
falls.
that congressman is he out of Tennessee? He's a Republican, but he's got ousted by the Trump administration. He was just on Theo Vaughn, dude. And
Thomas Massey.
Yes.
But
he was describing the whole bill process, and like, I found it interesting, man, because he's like, yeah, dude, if you propose a bill, he's like, I proposed multiple bills, and he's like, but because is he an independent maybe?
He's more like a libertarian.
Yeah.
Leaning Republican.
But because he's not playing the game on either side, they take his bill and then they put somebody else's name on it, and they're like, you're out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the whole bill process it's crazy too. Have you seen the size of those bills that come out? Right, they're like thousands of pages.
What are they called? What's that bill called? Omnibus.
Yeah. And it's like, and that's how all this junk gets fed in.
They
slip it in, and I bet you half these people don't even read it. They have their staffers that kind of go through it a little bit, like, hey, what we wanted is in there. Cool, yeah, I'll vote yes on it. But it's like, why can't we just go to a single subject bill? Hey,
Yeah.
here's one page. This is it. Vote on it. That's your job at the end of the day.
Because that would mean Congress would have to work a little bit harder,
Yeah.
and they don't want that.
Yeah.
They're like, let's just make it easy on us so I can collect my money and go home.
Yeah, and there's certain, congressmen and women that don't think they're being paid well enough.
Yo,
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
One of one-eyed complaints that he's not making enough money in the stock markets or his paycheck from Congress. Yeah.
And it's like, if you look at their work schedule, any American would want that. They hardly show up. Like, you get months of the year off completely.
Yeah, but not when you ask one of them. They're like, "Oh, you have no idea," and it's like, "Oh, dude, all right."
Because they spend most of the time going around to donor dinners and different functions to try to get more money for their next race.
Yep.
And that's all it comes down to. And that's why we need term limits. I think term limits would solve a lot of the issues we have. Because if you only have, like, let's say a congressman, you get three terms, 6 years. You're not going to be as heavily influenced because your time's going to come to an end at 6 years and someone else has to take that spot. So you can't perpetually just keep funneling money into the same person, getting what you want, because you're going to have new people in there all the time. But again, who has to vote for that? The people in office.
Yeah, and what they do is, like, the Republicans, when the Democrats are in charge and have the House, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're all for term limits. We'll vote for them, but the Democrats are shutting them down.
Yeah.
So sorry." And then when it's flip-flopped, the Democrats are like, "Yeah, we're for term limits," and the Republicans are shutting them down. So
It's like the whole Epstein list thing right
yeah.
now.
Oh gosh,
The
dude.
Democrats were so against it. Now they're the ones coming out. No, release it. It's like, okay, now you want to throw Trump, trying to like throw his name in the mix. Biden had this the whole 4 years. If Trump was anywhere on any of this stuff, they would have used it against him. No doubt.
I do
I haven't thought
though
of that.
find it. I'm kind of annoyed
Me
by the
too.
whole thing, dude. And I'm obviously Trump fan and everything, but I'm like, I do not like the way this is being handled.
No.
And I think that they're treating us a lot like the Democrats have the past 4 years. Like, nothing. There's no droids here. Dude.
Well, what happened to like day one we're releasing this stuff? And then it just
Exactly.
keeps going.
Promise is broken, dude.
Oh, actually, we don't have a list. Okay, yeah, you may not have an actual typed out list from this guy, but I'm sure he's documented all the stuff he was doing, because he wasn't doing it just for, 'cause
Yeah.
he wanted to help these sick pedos out. He was doing it to collect dirt on them. So there's information somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, who are you ultimately trying to protect in this whole thing?
And
Is
that's
that-
where
Is that pretty standard? I mean, that's pretty much out there, right? Like an Israeli asset that was collecting dirt.
People have thrown that out there. I mean,
Or is that
I
that's just
think-
hearsay?
from what I've heard, that there could be worldwide implications to this list, where we have leaders from multiple different countries.
it was found, on the island that there was audio recordings in all the walls. They
Yep.
had video cameras. So they have like everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
right?
all his
So
flight
don't tell me
logs. Yeah.
that there's nothing there. I mean, I could go down the street to the Motel 6 if they had audio stuff, and I'd have something. Be like, yeah, dude, this is what we have. But like on an island that was known to have young girls that flew rich, pieces of shit out there so they
Yeah.
could get their rocks off. It's like, yes, there has to be something, and you promised us that there would be accountability, but they've given nothing.
Well, what a slap in the face to all these victims. It's like these sick, evil people victimized all these young girls,
Yeah.
and you don't want to hold them accountable?
Don't point at me.
No, I was thinking we had that girl we had on that she said she mentors or like helps girls that have been sexually abused, and she had some that were on the island that she
Sex
was helping.
trafficking.
So that they're right there. It's like it was happening.
Yeah. We know for sure it happened, but now it's like, why are we trying to protect? I don't care who you are. You shouldn't be protected if you did this disgusting,
Yeah.
evil stuff. You should be held accountable, like no matter who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some names on that list that they do not want getting out.
Which then you lose complete faith and trust in the American people. With that, it's like, okay, so it really is rules for thee, but not for me. Like, I can do whatever I want if I'm up in this elitist status.
Exactly. And it's like that whole thing where the whole America was based on the people control the government, not the other way around. But we've lost that. Now the government controls the people. It's like, well, no, we elect you. We're supposed to have a say in all this. but now you're in total control across the board.
Yeah.
And you're just going to fall in line with whatever we tell
We'll
you.
divvy out whatever information we deem to give you guys.
Yeah.
But that's it.
I mean, it's like the whole thing with the JFK files and everything. It's like, just release it and let the people know.
Yeah.
Because by concealing it more, it just sparks more and more theories.
More controversy.
And more controversy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some of it's going to be ugly, but just be transparent.
Oh.
How's your wife and kid? You have a kid?
2 kids, yeah.
2 kids. How are they
5 and 3
handling you running?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been pretty cool traveling. So, like, I mean, Texas is massive, but being able to go out to all these little small towns and meeting different people, that's been like the coolest part of this whole thing.
Have you been around Texas before?
Just a visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Texas is huge, and there's
Massive.
a billion towns. Little.
Yeah. I mean, you don't realize how big it is until you're there. Like, everything's like, oh yeah, we could get there. It's a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'll take off. But it's cool. It's just fun meeting people all across the state from all different backgrounds and really just seeing how they live and what's affecting them.
Yeah.
So that's been the best part of it. And my kids are young enough where they don't really know what's going on. they're 5 and 3, so they're kind of like,
they're living their best life.
yeah. We got to go to a hotel today. Oh, this is awesome. Like, that's all they think about.
Awesome.
That has got to be a good age.
Is your wife enjoying it, traveling around?
Yeah, I think she's kind of the same thing. Like, she likes seeing different parts of the state, meeting different people.
Cool.
Yeah, it definitely opens up opportunities and getting to meet people I never thought I would. Like, I never thought I'd be sitting here talking to you.
Yeah, I'm glad you are.
Yeah, so like it's just cool, and I hope more people get involved that have life experience. Like I was saying earlier, get these attorneys that their sole aspiration is to run for office out. Just get the normal everyday American in there that wants to do something for their country.
Where can people look up and find, like, that you're running and what you're running on and policies and all that?
So they could go to my website, duncanforsenate.com. And then I have a heavy presence on X where I'm posting on that daily. And even if people have questions, I usually reply to their comments and questions they have. So that's been the best thing is, like, if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it and I'll be pretty straightforward and just give you my opinion on it.
Nice.
And that's why, like, my big issue I've been pointing out is the whole Islam thing, like we were talking about earlier. Because they're making a big push in Texas right now, a huge push. And I think it comes down to, they know if you could take Texas, you pretty much get the rest of America to fall in line. So I think that's why the left is after Texas, Islam's after Texas, because it's such a big populated state. If you take it, I mean, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. So you had talked about, they're forming their own little community there right now.
Yeah, and supposedly the governor, he pulled permits for it, but they're still full, steam ahead with trying to get this thing built. And it's called Epic City, and it's basically a big, huge Muslim-only housing development centered around a mosque. All the street names are after martyrs from the Islamic world. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's insanity, dude. That cannot happen.
No.
And
that's where I tell people, like, because, the whole thing is we're a religion of peace. Well, if you actually read the Quran, you read the Hadith, Sunnah, you see Islam's only peaceful once they conquer the world. Once Islam is the law of the land, then there will be peace. But before then...
Unless you break their laws.
Yeah. Unless you break their laws.
Yeah.
Which there's a lot of capital punishment.
Islam is a religion of peace. Kill everyone else who thinks otherwise.
Yeah, and the whole thing is they could deceive and lie to non-believers to further their cause. Mm-hmm. So even if they may be saying, no, we respect America, we respect the Constitution, it's a flat-out lie. Because they ultimately fall back and they follow.
Well, if you respected
Sharia.
America and you respected the Constitution, then you would not form a community that is strictly only for Muslims in America.
Right.
That goes against everything that America stands for. You can come here, you can be Muslim, you can practice your religion, but you cannot fortify a place of your own.
Right.
And then if we allow them to do that, where does it stop? Like we talked about earlier, starts at a county, and then it's like, you know what? Now we're growing big enough to we've taken over this city, and then keep growing, right? And then they're implementing their laws. which go against every American law that we have.
Exactly.
It's not the same.
We like to say, like, even Texas, we're outlying Sharia. You can't practice Sharia in the state of Texas. Great on face value. That should be across the board of the entire U.S. Sharia is not applicable in the U.S. whatsoever. But even things we're catering to, like a lot of airports are now opening prayer rooms for Muslims. That's part of Sharia. So it's like you're catering to them and following Sharia still, even though you're saying it's outlawed.
Yeah.
So it's that slippery slope.
Progressive push.
Right. And it's, the fallback is always First Amendment, freedom of religion. Well, yes, we have freedom of religion, but religion's only a component of Islam. It's a whole governmental system and ideology. So it's like, yeah, you have that component of it, practice that, but ultimately that falls under everything else that they believe in and that they implement.
Yeah. And that goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
We've brought it up on here before where, like, this is a big Christian community here, obviously. But, like, I've been to a gym where they have this group of men, they're all Christians, and they will literally take up 30% of the gym every morning to do this, like, hug and pray and, like, do their thing, which is, I'm like, dude, great. But go do that elsewhere, dude. Like, don't do that in the middle of a gym where you're taking up space. And my thought is, like, okay, because everyone's like, well, it's fine. They're Christian. It's like, okay, well, then we should allow this. If Muslims wanted to bring out their prayer rugs and take up 30% of the gym, then we should allow them to do that too. Like, yes, practice your religion, be vocal about your beliefs, but don't make it to where you are a hindrance on everyday society. And I know that's like a little, it's just a little thing
where you impede on other people's.
Yes,
exactly.
I'm just saying it goes both ways, right? And you can't allow one to overtake the other, but it's like there's a fine line, and it's like, yes, practice your religion. We have freedom of religion, and you are able to do so, but do not impede on society in any way that's going to be harmful or a nuisance.
Right. I mean,
Eddie starts stoning them in the gym.
Yeah.
Starts throwing
at the
weights
end of
at
the
them.
day, it's like, don't force anything on me. We want to bring everyone to the light, everyone to Jesus, but
Yes.
it's not coming by forcing it on
Yeah.
somebody. And it's
100%.
just, and that's where the left has been so wrong, and that's a major reason we left California is that ideology is forced on you.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
either comply and fall in line with us, or we want nothing to do with you. And it's like, it can't be that way.
No.
Do whatever you want in the privacy of your home or wherever you could do these things. Don't force it on everybody else.
Yeah.
It's America. At the end of the day, we're supposed to be about freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, do what you want, man. Like,
Yeah.
but then again, it's almost, I'm like a stay off my lawn conservative. It's like, dude, do whatever you want. Just don't bring it on my lawn.
Yeah.
Because then we have a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, sweet,
Awesome.
man. Well, I'm glad that you came out, dude.
Yeah, no, thank you. This
We'll
is
put
great.
the links in the description below.
All right,
for
awesome.
people to go and
Yeah, brother.
check it out.
It's good to see, man, like guys like you standing up and
Thank you.
and running for these seats, dude. And like we talked about, you're entering the snake den, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I think the only answer is for men like you and women like you who have, great values and are looking out for the betterment of this country to actually put your name in the hat and face the snake den. you know.
Yeah.
So good on you, dude. For
Thanks.
doing
I
that.
appreciate it. It's just, it's nice to sit down and have conversations. And I think this is what people need to see is just people having conversations, talking about different stuff going on and how we could fix it at the end of the day.
Oh. Well, Beverly Hills cop for Texas Senate.
Heck yeah, dude.
Have you reached out
Axel.
to Eddie Murphy yet? And
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
if he could. Yeah.
No. I said that'd be a funny one though.
That'd be
yeah,
great.
before you go, man, we got a gift for you too. I'm getting better at giving these out, but yeah, Isaiah, appreciate you.
Yeah.
This is a Firecracker Farm, so this is a company that sponsors us.
Oh, very cool.
It's a hot salt. So I don't
Oh,
know
nice.
if you like
Yeah, I like a little spice.
little spice. So the one in here is Apocalypto, and that one is
gnarly.
pretty hot. But we also, what's cool is they have it's refillable, man. So this one's
awesome.
Pineapple Express. It's a little bit less heat and a little sweet, but it's
Very cool.
yeah.
Thank you. This is awesome.
Yeah, brother.
Nice.
Enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna enjoy this.
My father-in-law tried some last night, and he was like, whoa, man. He was
it's
like,
good.
can I have this?
My son will love this. He loves spice.
Oh, dude.
So yeah, he
love that.
he loves anything spicy.
Awesome.
All right, man. Well, take it easy, brother.
Awesome. Thank
Out.
you.
Out.
Hey, what's up, guys? So, as you know, when I'm not podcasting, I'm doing a lot of instructing shooting courses, whether it's from basic to advanced. And the one product I'd love to see people bring to the range is a suppressor for obvious reasons, because when you shoot, you want to shoot like a gentleman. And over the course of my career and also while instructing, I have got to shoot a multitude of different suppressors, and there's only one that I really love that I stick with, and that is elevated silence. I've been shooting that now for over a couple years. There is very little to no blowback. It's definitely one of the quietest suppressors out there, and believe me, I put it to the test. They are made to last. So whether you're a seasoned shooter or new to the game, Elevated Silence has a suppressor to match your needs. Their commitment to quality ensures that each product enhances your shooting sessions, making them more enjoyable and memorable. If you are looking to pick up a suppressor, go to elevatedsilence.com. Thank you and God bless.